RC Underground Radio is your go-to podcast for everything RC.
Everything about Kirby's is awesome.
Especially the owner. He's so hot.
I could never find anyone like him on Tinder. For the record, I'm not on Tinder, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of getting worried there.
More of a grinder guy.
Each episode features top-notch guests, industry leaders, and you, the racer.
Do you guys realize how much it costs to be friends with this dude?
So, grab your transmitter, buckle up, and join us on RC Underground Radio.
Say words.
Here are your hosts, Dave Brinkman and TJ Greer.
But we are back this week, and we got a lot to catch up on, buddy. So let's kick it right out. You did some racing. I did some racing. So let's catch everybody up. Let's talk Duels in Wisconsin.
Man, trackside. Jamie Tin has put on an awesome show. Him and Zach and everybody. My first time out at trackside. Got to hang out with my dude, Ryan, Walecki, Kevin. I got to hang out with a bunch of people. The Michigan guys come out, some Indiana guys. Cuz was out. GFRP, the team was out. Custom Works guys were out there. So it was a fun time. Decided to work all day, then drive straight up there and set up and get ready and do the crazy, drive there. But track was awesome. They run 2 tracks. They run the regular track in the back, which is usually what they run oval. But to put the foam tire back there, and then they built a track where their off-road stuff is where they run the rubber tire. So the whole point of the duel is to have both tracks. You compete, and it's by points. So I don't run any foam tire, so I ain't got a shot in there. So I just stuck with the rubber tire and ran Outlaw late model and Outlaw Sprint. And I struggled with Sprint. Just struggled.
So what was it? What do you think it was? Have you been able to assess it since you got home, or?
Yeah, so I just had the car was set up completely wrong. I had the car set up for what I would run at Brick House, which is a small boring, medium to high bite, and then, we're on bigger gripped up track here. So I just had the wrong setup. So I chased it for a couple days. It was decent the first couple times I put it out there, but that's exactly what happened. Somebody else had even said the track is going to be really good, and then you're going to lose it, and it's going to get worse, but the track's going to get better. So it was really weird. The track did get better, which I personally said if they would leave that track alone and we had a track like that in Indiana to run all the time, I'd be all over it. The track was big. It was decent. You could run an SC mod on there. I wish they did run open SC mod, but neither here nor there. So, but it was fun to see everybody and hang out. Late model was good. I could drive it. The wanted more. Had to throw a ton of brass on both cars. So, nothing new there. But Ryan Ralph put a sweet setup in the car for me and was just drive it hard. And so that's what I did. And transferred out of one main, didn't transfer out of the next one, which some heavy hitters in there. The whole time, you could be in a C main and have an A main show line up there, which was awesome. So, late model was really close to a transfer spot. I think I got the second. I think I got the first or second in that main. I think I either dropped down to 4th or 5th. It was a clean race. Nothing crazy happened, but just needed a little bit more luck on my side. I don't think I have enough of that, but had a great time. Got inducted into the L, so thank you for that. Those guys were pretty cool. I got to hang with the Michigan guys, my Wisconsin dudes. We went out to eat. That was a blast with the Michigan guys. Went to Cantina Bel Air, and that was top tier primo Mexicano.
Yeah, I always hate picking restaurants. It's one of my biggest stresses because there's especially. It's one thing if you're out with your wife, but when you got a whole group of people and there's 5 people at the table I never met before, and now they're going to spend their money, and you guys are in town and you're hungry and you want, I know you've had Mexican all over the place. So I'm man, it was close to your hotel. I was all right, I'm going to take a shot at it. I've enjoyed it before.
Well, they talked about going back. So if it's any consolation,
cool.
If we go back to trackside, that is definitely on the list of to-dos. Because we had our usual trackside food. We went down to the Culvers and what's it, Razlaff and Walecki. We all went down to, and Tyler, we all went to, was it Chipotle? Not a big fan of Chipotle. I'm more of a Moe's kind of guy. But Chipotle was okay. Had Culver's, and then I DoorDash and Wingstop. Just your typical trackside food.
So that night was kind of cool. It's just, anybody think about getting in this hobby? This is a great side story of like why you do it, right? Like, never met these guys before from Michigan. Could not be cooler. Can't. It's making me want to go to a race in Michigan because I'm like, you guys tell me where you're racing because I'm coming. You know, just to hang out with them again. You know, they're just cool guys, and obviously you and Cuz. It was one of those moments where totally unplanned. The only thing planned was let's grab some food together because you're in Wisconsin, you're in town, and I'm getting ready to head out of town. Ironically, I live in Wisconsin, you guys are there, and I'm heading out of town to go race in Ohio. But it's just the way things go, right? But it just came together. These guys are like, you said, hey, yeah, the guys from Michigan are coming. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Couldn't have been more fun. It was just seven dudes sitting around talking RC cars, and we're trying to explain it to the waitress, and she's like totally digging it, I think, or she was just hoping she was going to get a bigger tip because she's acting like this. Oh, this is amazing. It was just down. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, and it was just all the conversations were just back and forth about, this track, that track, setup, questions, and the Michigan guys they're quick up there, but
Yeah.
they are going to be part of the Indiana Michigan rival. There's going to be a race going on in the summertime. It'll be Crater Nation versus Indiana. So who will come out on top? Yeah, that's going to be a thing.
The Hoosier posse is. So what's it going to be? Some races in Indiana, some races in Michigan.
So it's back to back. It looks like it's going to be back to back weekends. One weekend in Michigan, the other one down in Indiana at 5-star. So
need dates, baby. Need dates. I'd love to bring the road show to that.
So it's going to be a dual weekend. We are, and that's what we said. How do you do it? Do we just say, hey, we're going to bring all of Indiana, and obviously it's what we want. Do we bring the best of the best? We bring who we want, and we know we're going to bring our ringers, or do we just? How do you? Is it? Well, you can only have a certain amount of people on a team. What is this going to? They're like, it'll be by points.
But how do you do that if there's different levels of points? So it have to be an even out of throwout. So like, let's just say hypothetically, not trying to get in the mix of this, but if it's the best 5 point totals and you bring 10 guys, at least you got 10 chances to get 5 good points.
How do you pick the 10? You know what I mean? Like, what if those 10 are all racing, 2 different classes? It's going to be based off of all the classes that they're running. So for me, I'm going to stack everything. I'm going to say, I want my best novice racers. I want my best 13.5 racers. I want my best 13.5 outlaw. I want my best box stock. I want my best outlaw late models. I mean, it's just, we're going to throw it together.
Mm-hmm. So you figure there'll be a way to do it. I mean, you look at like Inex Legends Racing, right? Mm-hmm. They have a point series and develop a champion, and they race all over the country. So there's some scientific mathematical equation. There's got to be a way to do it.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it all ironed out. But all I can tell you is that Indiana will come out on top, and I am willing to put a wager on it.
First shot across the bow. It hasn't even been announced yet.
It's been posted. It's posted somewhere. I want to say like maybe on Crater's race page, maybe.
Okay, yeah, because I know their schedule came out and I didn't see.
And then 5-star released their schedule too.
Yeah,
which their 5-star Backyard and Raw RC Speedway, they're all working together to coincide, so none of our Indiana tracks that we have here will conflict. So every track is going to go support the other tracks.
I saw that posting, and I tell you, man, just applause to Indiana. I mean, you guys have some of the best racers. You have some of the best tracks, obviously, and now you're taking the lead to say, let's be smart about this.
Well, that goes to the track owners. That's 100% all them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Most of the ones who run these tracks, they still race too. So not only do they want to be able to give us a surface to race on and play on and be able to enjoy our weekend, they want to go out there and race too. Mm-hmm. Which I think is great because I know Sean's track is really only indoors only, but I mean he's going to take Sandon out. Sandon's going to go race outdoors, So, but he's trying to keep all the brick house stuff that they do rule wise to coincide with what we're going to do with the other tracks. So we're not trying to run multiple tire rules. They're not trying to change a bunch of this and that. They're trying to say, hey, what is the easiest way to keep people on this track that gives us a unified set of rules that we can say this track, this track, this track, this track, and maybe they change a setup and that's it, surface wise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. I think the biggest question is on all the open classes, what do you run tire wise? I mean, let it be open, but I only think open on tire rules because a lot of people have preferences, just like we have preferences on motors, ESCs. Let them run the manufacturers maybe they're sponsored by.
Yeah, I mean open. Open should mean open. How do you have open and then you start to close it up, right? I don't know. From just my personal opinion, that doesn't make sense. Open is open, and there's certain guys who are going to do that.
Yeah.
Now we'll get into other conversations in a few weeks, but you might. I would say the only limitation is the whole 2-pole, 4-pole.
Oof.
Just pick a lane.
Give me two pole all day.
Yeah. So you pick that lane, but yet there's multiple options, right, of motors that you can go. So nothing wrong with that, and you're still keeping it as an open class. So yeah, just my take on it. As open is open.
Is your ride as exciting as a soggy sandwich?
Does your wardrobe scream,
I'm not trying?
Turn heads with Carpies, the place for custom wraps, apparel, and all things awesome. Want to look cooler than your neighbor? Want a wrap that makes your car the talk of the town? Want apparel that screams,
I'm not basic?
Carpies has you covered. Carpies, custom wraps, apparel, and more.
Because who wants to be boring?
Visit Carpies. Wrap your world. Wear your swag. Visit carpies.com today. Introducing Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, the ultimate solution to boost your grip and speed on dirt, carpet, or pavement. Papa Willie's gives you the traction you need to leave the competition in the dust. Just apply and watch your car stick to the ground like never before. No more spinning out, just pure relentless traction. Get Papa Willie's Traction Tonic and put the pedal to the metal. Available online. Visit papawillies.com today. Papa Willie's, where traction meets action.
Yeah, so that's super cool. You had a good time in Wisconsin. I tell you what, we got to give it out to our boy Ryan Ratzloff. I watched all the race. I went back, couldn't watch him live, but I went back and watched him. That B main that he won.
Yeah.
I think, not just because it's Ryan, but I mean, that was a great race. And then their A main, the most strategic, I think 5 of the 6 cars or 5 of the 7 cars, all on the same lap within hundreds. And they ran clean. It was a strategy race.
I think that was Ryan's best car. That was Ryan's best car, hands down, because I know him and Welecki, they basically have, almost like the same setup on a lot of things, but Welecki just didn't seem to have any rip to it. We were searching for power. Like we changed diffs, we changed bearings, it was everything. Wheels, we tried everything. Different motor. The motor, it got better once we changed the motor. So, but yeah, it was fun to watch that style of B mod because it's like a spec B mod or SE mod, so to speak. Ryan also drove a new car. He drove a 24, maybe it was a 21 plus 4 or no, 24. I don't remember what it is. I think it's 21 plus 4. Anyway, he drove an Assailant his first time on the track. It didn't handle the best, so I put a completely different setup like I have in mine and his, and the same thing with Welecki, and then they were both able to turn some quality laps. So much that he was like, I think I want a sprint car now. So we were talking the other day, he's texting me, he was like, I think I want a sprint car, and I just said, do it. So we'll see. Maybe he'll have a sprint car here soon, and he'll get that build done, and yeah. So I think he had a blast running late model. I thought it was awesome to see him and Welecki running those classes because I know they run big cars like me. So, But yeah, it was a great time. I'll definitely go back to trackside. I had a blast. I will definitely put it on my calendar of to-dos for next year as well. So
that's awesome.
And then, yeah, we just got to get some of them Wisconsin boys down to Indiana because I know that Ryan and Welecki had talked about coming down for maybe an outdoor race possibly. So we'll see. We'll see what they've got, what they can shake out. I told them they'd welcome to stay, come hang out. We'll race around here, show them what it's like to run in Indiana. And he said, I'll put a big motor in that thing. I was like, you better. Let's let that thing eat.
Let's go. Yeah, there's a whole group of good Wisconsin racers that could come and do that. So
yeah,
hopefully, we'll try to get some some Badger pride and maybe get into that thing as well. We'll see.
So what about you? You did some racing.
Yeah, that same weekend I went to just outside Toledo, Ohio. I went to Bowling Green, Ohio, and great carpet track, Black Swamp. It's in a mall, which is super cool because so many people come up. They had seats out so people could sit and watch the racing. I believe that the carpet that they had down on there probably cost more than my house because
Really?
there was a lot of it and grippy. It was some grippy stuff. So they paid some good money and it didn't leave anything on your car. That's what I liked. Is like, you flip the car over and you're ready. And when you carpet race, you just say, much like dirt, I got to clean the car out. I got to get all these carpet fibers out.
Yeah.
Nope. All the grip stayed down in the track. It was fast. It was big. I just went there to run Losi NASCAR, and that was super fun. Feature, we just let everybody run. I think it was 11 or 12 cars.
Wow.
And we said the goal is everybody finish. And we did. Everybody finished. There was like 3 cars on the lead lap. I was back a little ways. But that car I'm still figuring out. But I finally got my parts from Losi. So we're literally, when I got there Friday night for practice and setting up the road show, another guy was nice and he's like, hey, you got a lot to do. Let me throw that motor in there for you. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And again, RC family, right? Never met these people. Never met them. And the minute I walk in, they're like, "Oh, here, let us help you. Let's help you set this up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm putting this motor in. Let me just take it. You work on that. I'll take care of your motor." I'm like, literally knew the guy for 10 minutes, right?
That's what it's about, man. Just knowing, like, hey, I'm going to help you because you're helping me.
It's like any other hobby. I don't know if it's people can resonate with this, but a lot of hobbies, like, there's an initiation period. Like, you got to work your way into the group, right?
You got to earn your stripes.
Yeah, it's like you walk into an RC place, they're like, that's cool. You like RC, I like RC. We've known each other. That's all we need to know about each other.
You want to be a part of it? Let me help you. Let me help you be a part of this.
Yeah. And that's how the owners of the place were. And yeah, everybody was so cool. Kevin Smith was out there. I was really looking forward to seeing Kevin, the representation of WITS and that whole side, and be able to just look him in the eye and say, thank you, what all you guys from WITS do for the hobby, And he was very humble, just a humble dude, funny as all get out. We all went out for dinner, and yeah, there were some funny stories in there that, probably it's not a family show, so we can't talk about them. But no, it was a good time. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. We just put this waiter, who was our waitress, I guess, waiter, whatever, put that guy through the ringer, and he just took it all. He just took it all, and it was all in good fun. And hopefully we'll get Kevin on the show one night, and we'll let him tell some of those stories of when he travels and how he just loves to give it to waiters and waitresses.
So I have a thing. I have a thing that I like to do with the waitress. So I like to guess either a couple things, okay, their age and either what shampoo or perfume they're wearing. Not because I'm really good at like doing it, but it's fun,
Yeah.
I'm a 1,000% win rate against Bruce Harper. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Nice.
We went to Dirt Devils, I don't know, about a month ago maybe, and $20. Let's bet $20 on it. Bet $20 on it that I knew what perfume she was wearing, and I had it over under 2 years on her age. That's what it is. It's over under 2. So I was like spot on with the age, and I knew the perfume she was wearing, and I knew what color the bottle was. I was good. So I took that money, and that was her tip. So I said, because I won this is for you. So
the only foreshadowing I'll give is the waiter had forgotten his name tag. So their rule there is if you forget your name tag, you have to pick out of the drawer, and 90% of them are women, right? So it's this dude, and he's wearing this Melissa name tag. Well, that's all Kevin needed to see. And it just went from there. But the funny, and the other foreshadow I give, and there's so much in between it, is Kevin would be yelling, Melissa! And the dude would turn around.
he knew.
He would turn around and look, and he'd come to our table. So we reprogrammed this dude that he thinks he's Melissa.
I'd be calling Manlissa.
Man, it was, but there's in between, and then the end, it was like a script. It was like a Seinfeld episode. But Kevin can throw it so fast and so funny that yeah, you would literally think it was pre-scripted because he's so quick. But we had a great time, and owners of the place went with us, and Crappie was there, and
What about
yeah, super
what
fun.
about
El
the
Presidente.
program? Let's talk about the
All
program,
right,
and then I want to hear because I know you hung out with El Presidente.
hung out with El Presidente. He's the dude.
Yes.
He's a good man. Yeah. So I get there, set everything up. We had some great interviews. There's some great young drivers there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we even did a Rising Star giveaway. And it wasn't a young kid this time. It was Michael Oakes. I believe Michael's lives out near Carpies because, he races with the Carpoletti boys once in a while. And perfect. It was a perfect choice. Right. And there were some young drivers there that, would have been deserving. They're up and coming. But Michael, man, just a humble dude. He's only been in the hobby since January, has a ton of talent. And if you get a chance, go over and watch the Cracking Up podcast with Derek Carpoletti because he just had Michael on as a guest. Great. I'll put it in the show notes too, but great interview. You'll watch that and you'll say, yep, that guy 100% deserved that award. It was fun to be there for that and actually, see it happen. Yeah. He's a good dude. Very, like I said, very deserving of the award. And if you didn't see our live, I did some stuff live from RCU Radio Facebook page of
He was
the
speechless.
presentation. Did you see the table? I
Yeah.
mean, I know we did it with the dirt cars and it's the same thing, but seeing it live, like say you saw it live, you saw this table full of stuff. It is like Christmas Day times 10. Like
Yeah.
all the stuff that this guy got. And typically
That's
you
what it was
walk-
like for the dirt side. It was great.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a table set up because some of the stuff was still being, drop shipped to my rental home. So I was still scrambling to get some things put together, which I'm completely appreciative for. But yeah, we didn't really have like a dedicated location. So I had to like put it all together and like box it up but a lot of it still, like Jordan Mann and the family, they're getting some of this stuff now. Like they just received the 3 kits, talking with Dustin. So they just received the 3 kits. They've just got all their Exalt stuff in. So it's great to see them prosper and gain all this product for what's going to only make their program that much more better.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the same for Michael. Like I said, he just got into the hobby in January, has a ton of talent. He's won some races. He won that NASCAR race we ran that night at Black Swamp. But it's not because he's got trick stuff, right? He up until that point, he's had a basic Charger. He's just good. He's a good
smooth
driver.
operator.
He's exactly what you want in the sport. This is, it's like a NASCAR, like if somebody comes up through the ranks and they're like, this guy's going to be like the next whoever, Well, Michael's like going to be the next big thing in RC and he'll just sit down and talk to you,
Yeah.
He just enjoys, he's in the hobby for all the right reasons. And the hobby gave back to him for all the right reasons, and just cannot wait to see, what he does next. I want to see him travel race. That'll be fun. Hopefully he can get out a little bit more and travel.
Yeah.
And do some stuff. So word is out. Derek and Audra are not going to be able to make the Foam Oval Nationals. So I said, all right, you got to send Michael out as your representative. And he said,
Yeah.
we'll have to think about that. So a bummer that we can't get Derek and Audra here for that. One day they're going to come. And it'll be super fun, but it'll be something to look forward to, hopefully for next year's event. But I said, hey, all right, then get Michael here, let him represent, So we'll see if that goes. That would be super cool. And I'll tell you what, you have to watch him in the Losi NASCAR because he'd probably come in as the favorite for that division. So,
That'd be awesome.
But so we'll get back to Black Swamp. So great facility. I mean, just everything's painted up nice. Go around, make sure everybody's happy. A lot of good lighting at your pit area. Everybody and anybody there to help you. Even guys that do it all the time, right? They're talking about setups and you should do this and do that. No hassle of people corner marshaling. Everybody just did what they're supposed to do. So, anyways, the racing was great. They're fast. I mean, it was ironic because it's like going back home again, right? Because that's where I started back in the 70s was on carpet. And just kind of forgot how fast it is.
Yeah.
It's quick, and everybody was hooking up, and you could use sauce if you needed it, but never really went to it. If anything, I take that back. I did try it on the Lucy car, and I think it slowed the car down. I was turning 10th slower. I think it was
Really?
yeah. Those cars, you can't twist them up, man. It's all the car's got to run as free as it can, and those chassis want to twist up a little bit when you're center off. And
Interesting.
you got to really hit your lines on that, and especially on a track with that because it really wants to grip. So you almost need a little slip. It makes the car go a little bit faster because it's freer. And sanded down the tires, and then they have this piece of carpet, and you can just like roll the car around on it, and that just kind of kind of added a little shine back to the tires, and then they were all good, and we were all competitive. I mean, it was a box stock class for sure, and as far as I could tell, everybody was right in the ballpark. It really came down to driving, and then again, I had another gracious racer come up and say, "Here, run in the 1RC class. That's what you run back home." I'm like, I didn't even know they were running 1RC that night. I would have brought my stuff. I literally had my stuff on my case, and I said, I'm going to take these drawers off. I don't need these cars, right? Then I get
Right.
there and they're running 1RC. I'm like, man. But I took a rental ride and made it to the podium. I got a third. So by main
Good.
time, I figured the car out. Yeah. And so that was fun. That was another time I go racing, and it's unexpected that I'm going to race in something.
Yeah, it's the RC Underground Radio rental ride program.
Yes, lots of R's.
To the top.
Lots of R's in there. Yeah. But now again, it just shows how gracious people are. I mean, KK, when I get to run his SC or his slash, stock slash. I mean, that was one of the highlights of my 40 years of doing this stuff.
That's awesome.
It was just so fun. So,
and it was on dirt.
That was on dirt, and and it was the only second night I ever ran, but it was just, I've told you on the side, it was just a fun car to run. I didn't care if I won. I didn't care if I finished last. It was just so exhilarating to drive a car like that, so hooked up and so set up. It was fun. So we'll see if there's a little second piece to that story. We'll just have to.
We'll add more to that one on the next episode.
There might be another chapter to that story.
I'm going to preface that one.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it was fun to jump in the 1RC car. That's where I felt at home, and took a little while to make a couple adjustments on that car because everybody races them a little different, and I didn't have any parts to throw at it. So what it was is what it was, and I just had to accommodate the driving a little bit, back off my corners a little, and had a early traction roll issue, and just stuff like that. But by feature time, had enough laps. I think it was 100 lapper, so I had enough time to kind of acclimate myself to the car and get it home. So felt bad because I beat out the guy who borrowed me the car for the podium. But you're racing. It's racing, man.
Wouldn't expect you to do anything less.
That's right, and that's what he said. He goes, I wouldn't want you to move over or anything, and I just wasn't sure what car he was in, to be honest. But I wouldn't. No, we're racing. That's racing.
I'm there to win.
They're there to do your very best. So it was super fun. So hey, we started a conversation about SE Mod.
Yes,
there's a lot of components to that. So any conversations when you were at the Duels, when you were at Trackside, any side conversation, anything about SE Mod?
So it's very different in Wisconsin than it is in, let's say Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, where Michigan runs SE Open. So they're really just, they're saying, you're going to run a short course based car. You can run whatever motor. You have to be pretty much in the same DODC rules, center line, everything, battery, same stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just running, what body you want to run. If you want to run a late model body, you could run that. You want to run a mod body, run that, So it kind of just like keeps everything kind of in one section, where you go to Wisconsin and you have everything is separated, but it's by class or in like motor turns. So you're running 17.5, where we would never consider 17.5 anywhere. Majority, I'll say this, and I'll say this loosely, majority of us are on 2-pole motors. So there are some that are still running 4-pole motors. I know of a couple. I'm not going to judge them for it. But I've always been, I went from running a 2-pole, 4-pole back to a 2-pole, and I found that 2-pole is just going to be the best. So, but no, the Wisconsin guy said if they were to come down and bring their B mods, that they're going to put big motors in it. And I'm like, absolutely, go 2-pole. And I'm telling them, go 2-pole if you want to be competitive. I'm not saying you can't be competitive with a 4-pole motor. I just think the power band for us is a lot smoother. It's a lot controllable. It's more controllable. So talking with those SE mod guys there in Wisconsin, they would come down and run open with us.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're excited to see what it would be like to have a ton of power behind that car. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
but like watching the 17.5 B mod class run, the guys like, gosh, I don't remember his name. Man, he had an orange B mod. It looked pretty cool. It was pretty quick. He was running right there with Greg Moore. I'd have to go back and look, but Greg's car was hooked up. Razlaf was hooked up. Yeah, there was a couple others that they were just fast for a 17.5, like you can just, who knows? Are they a boosted 17.5? I don't know. Is there a different rotor in it? Could be. Who knows? But the idea of, them thinking about what open would look like in a car like that, it's very different. Zach Lutz, for instance, the car that he won B mod with the last 2 years at Chili Bowl is the same car he runs against, a car like mine in SE Open in Michigan.
Okay.
So just food for thought. There's similarities to it that you can run in both classes and go back and forth. I would just prefer to say I want to run open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm going to a track this weekend that runs what they call Pro Mod. So it's just basically SE Mod, A Mod, Pro Mod, whatever you want to call it. So I'm purposely going there because they are running that class, and I want to run my SE Mod really badly. So
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. So it's cool, the horizon on SE Mod and just really setting the stage for summer racing. You brought up some good points. There's going to be this Michigan, Indiana, maybe Wisconsin will sneak in there a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. But there's, the elite races are coming up. That's something that's going to start here soon. So there's 5 of those that'll be happening all around the Midwest, and then still one in Oklahoma at Taylor Parks. Yeah, those will be fun. You'll run SE Mod there because that's all 5 of them will have SE Mod. There's some tracks are running different support classes for that. So there may be like a midget support class one time. 13.5 late model, maybe a support. I think it's just what is the biggest around that area for a support role.
Sure.
So I would have to go back and look.
What the real racetracks do, right? It's like,
yep,
ASA is going to come to town, but our local series is this, and this, and they're going to support when the tour comes to town. So kind of same.
Yep.
Same.
So I think like Raw may have 13.5 late model, maybe, I think, as a support class. So that's a pretty big 13.5 around here for us is pretty big in both sprint and late model. So
sweet. So yeah, we're setting the foreshadowing for the summer. It's going to be an exciting summer of all styles of racing. Everybody's going to come off the foam. We got the Foam Nationals in April. That pretty well kind of closes the door for that. There are still tracks in our area that'll still run 1RC all the time. So we're not saying that 1RC racing is done for the summer, but primarily a lot of people are going to turn over to the Duran cars and run tracks like Attitude and tracks up by you and Brickhouse and so forth. So yeah, it's just so fun to watch the hobby continuing to grow and grow and grow. I think it's one of the best times of interest and growth and excitement and new ideas and tracks from different states, all that stuff. That's just so great for the hobby. So be sure you stay tuned. We're going to carry a lot of the info as it comes. I think that's something we got to start doing. Teachers will start doing our homework on some of these big races that are coming up. And sure, we'll get some of the track owners and such and racers in those areas on the show, but we'll kind of talk about it and give it our perspective of how we think what's going to come up and come out of those particular shows.
Yeah, I'm going to a new track this weekend for myself, so it'll be something. Obviously, I've got a couple racers down there that I know that I want to get on the show. I want to bring Ryan Ralph and his boy rider, who we call Cletus.
Sure.
He's a young wheeler. Yeah, he's young. I believe he's 8 years old. Tons of talent. He's still learning how to hone his emotions. I think he did really well in midget last at the duels. I think he was starting second in the B main, or fifth in the B main. I think it was. Had a little bit of bad luck, and he wore it on his sleeve as any 8-year-old probably would, but proud of that little dude, he's going to be a wheeler, high expectations because of who his father is,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a couple I'm going to get on the show as well. So I'm calling you out, Ryan. We're going to get you on, and you and Cletus, we're going to have you both on. So, but yeah, Ryan did well. Ryan Ralph, some know, some don't. Good racer. He's fast. He was one that was in the Invitational. Did really well. He definitely kept the Exalt booth busy for us every morning. It was something we had to work on. So it was fun. He kept it fun for me, kept me busy. So, but yeah, I'll be racing with him. Another buddy I met at Duels, Bradley Guthridge. We call him Rolly. Super cool guy. Fast cars, look good. But yeah, I'll be hanging out with them this weekend. We're actually after I get off work tomorrow, we're gonna go. I'm gonna travel down to Highside in Henderson, Kentucky. It'll be about a 3-hour, almost just under 4-hour drive for me. So get set up, get some laps turned in, get the cars checked out, and then we are going to get some barbecue because that's all Ryan Ralph talks about from the South. The mouth from the South is barbecue. So
some Kentucky barbecue.
We'll see how good it really is.
It's got to be bourbon barbecue then if it's Kentucky, right?
Has to be. I mean, we're right on it's right south of Evansville, Indiana. So
it's going to be good.
We'll see.
So you'll, if you get your phone with you, maybe do a food, a food review, and then we can share that next week.
Will do. We will.
Nice.
Maybe we get a logo for it.
Nice.
RC Radio review. Food review. Something. We'll think of something.
We'll come up with
a lot like
we'll
Quick
come
Time.
Up with a T-shirt. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have a little Quick Time announcement coming up here in a couple of weeks. Just waiting for a couple of things to show up, and then once we got that, we'll have a fun little thing we're doing with Quick Time. So
yeah.
So hey, buddy. I know there's things that we both got to get done, so we're gonna cut it. I appreciate you. I hope you know that.
Yeah, and always, man.
So yeah. So on behalf of TJ and myself, thanks again for checking in. We just kind of wanted to do bar chat tonight. Just talk openly, kind of catch everybody up what we've been doing, catch each other up to what we've been doing because we've both been busy with things. So that was super fun. It was great to hear the inside stories of what went on at the Duels. Super proud that track is in our state. I'll be honest with you. Jamie, that whole group just does amazing stuff. It's ironic. I've never done a road show there. So that's something we got to plan for the future, to do a road show from Trackside. I think that'd be super fun.
Top-notch facility. I mean, the shop was filled, always popping. Pits were fun, good times. There's food around. It was a good time. I had a blast, and I will definitely be back. So thank you, Jamie, Zach, and everybody involved at Trackside for putting on one of the top, I will tell you, a top indoor track facility in America. One of the top ones.
That's awesome. I mean, that says a lot. And what says a lot is like, okay, if there's local Wisconsin racers, yeah, sure. They're like, hey, this is my local track. This is where the only place I can race or whatever, right? And trust me, everybody in Wisconsin loves the place. But when you get that kind of feedback from somebody who's driven 4 or 5 hours to do it, and the Michigan guys and everybody had such positive reviews of Trackside, that's where the testament is, right? Is that people that will drive that far to come to a track just proves. And you know what? It's not like Jamie just depends on that. Like, it's a good track. No, every time he acts like this next race is the most important race. And the people of Trackside look at it that way and say, we have to make this race the best race ever. They never go, well, the racers will just deal with whatever. No, they put their heart and soul, think it out. A creative idea like the Duels, where you run 2 racetracks under the same roof. I mean, come on, that's crazy. But they, like I said, they make it entertainment. They put all their heart and soul into it, and yeah, just super proud that it represents the hobby of RC in our state. So again, everybody, we want to thank you for tuning in. We just had so much fun with this, and we couldn't do it if it wasn't for our great sponsors, Carpies, as well as Papa Willie's. So we just appreciate them so much. Make sure, reach out to them. Let them know if you enjoy the show. It's great when we hear it, but it's even better when we know that our partners have heard what the show means to you. So if you can reach out to them, email, Facebook, whatever, just let them know, hey, thanks for covering the show because, there you go.
No fender skirts were cut. No fender skirts were cut or harmed, Scooter. Just letting you know, okay, buddy?
That was a great story. That was a great posting that was going on about that. That was fun. Again, thanks for joining us, Teach. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And we will see you again next week.
Thank you for listening to the RC Underground Radio Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your fellow racers about the show. Tune in again next week for more RC content.